Hi,
I'm
Emily.
Erin. Nice to meet you. I brought you a copy of my cover resume.
So I'll just be asking you a couple questions, casual, more like a don't stress about it, friendly conversation.
Okay.
So we are looking for an event planner and a coordinator. I see that you worked here in the administration. How did you feel about that job, and can you describe it a little bit?
Yeah, well, I currently still work there. And basically what we do is we input data into the computers about potential applicants to the university. And so we work as a team, and we kind of have to make sure everyone's doing their part so we can get, there's a lot, I think we generate, what was it, like 48,000 new things like throughout the year. And so it just takes a lot of teamwork to get everything done.
So you think that could help you prepare for an event planner and coordinator?
I would say yes, because I know how to work with others, but then I would also say that my past experience as a lifeguard, which doesn't sound like an event coordinating position at all, but I think that prepared me better because I worked for a small country club, and so rather than hiring like an event coordinator and a maintenance worker, which are things you think they would hire for, they kind of just expanded our job description, and so we were in charge of not only maintaining the cleanliness of the pool and working with the members, and as kind of being like a mediator between the members and the board, we also had to put on different social events for the children. Every Friday night was family fun night, and so that's not a huge thing, but we still had to like go and get the supplies, promote it, and make sure people are there in order to operate it and take care of the kids. So I think that probably prepared me more for an experience in an event coordinator.
So with that experience, do you think that being an independent worker or a team player is more important as an event planner?
I'd say kind of both. There's a mixture that's definitely necessary because everyone has to, and also with being my past education as a organizational communication major, I worked a lot within groups. And just from that, I've learned that you have to work together as a group, but you also have to have your own individual tasks completed. Otherwise, it's just not going to work out. And it's hard to complete one task altogether. So if you kind of delegate, then usually it's more successful. And so I'd say it's kind of a mixture in order to be successful.
And then I have a scenario for you, and then I'll ask you what you would do in this situation. So you scheduled a field day where the campers primarily play soccer and football without consulting the camp counselors. The basketball and volleyball counselors were misinformed and planned the day to be spent inside the gym, and are upset they didn't receive any information on the changed schedule. How would you handle this conflict?
Okay. So for something like that, I'm assuming since it was a conflict, it would have happened that day rather than beforehand. And saying that the camp goes on for 2 weeks at a time, right? That's correct?
Yeah.
There's probably other days where they have specifically the football, specifically the other games. Maybe since it's kind of hard, in order to switch everyone's schedule around, maybe it'd be best just to put things indoors and have everyone working there together and doing different skill work rather than the whole games of that day. I think that's how I would manage it.
Okay, and then how would you make sure that it never happens again?
I would, in order to make sure that it never happens again, I would make sure we have everything written down on a schedule beforehand and everyone going and reviewing that schedule before that week even begins. So just to have the entire 2-week schedule planned out to the T, so just nothing is up in the air, because it's very unfair to the kids too, who are paying for, or their parents are paying for it, and they're dedicating their time to it. They don't want to be kind of in this unorganized mess per se.
And then I have another one. So, hypothetical situation: a parent is upset that his child didn't excel at the sport camp he attended. He feels his son didn't get any better at football and that his money was wasted. how would you handle this? Like, how would you approach this conflict?
I would sit down and talk to the parent, and just let him know that sometimes skills it's not as obvious as to how people improve, and then also saying that like maybe he didn't excel to meet a certain benchmark, but he still learned different skills that are necessary in order to help him progress further towards that benchmark. Also, I'd point out what he did learn. Maybe he didn't increase his sprint time or something, but he did increase this split, or he increased different things. Showing him what he did learn from the camp is very important, so that he knows that he did use his money wisely in setting this kid
So
there.
focusing on the positives.
Mm-hmm.
So you said how your experience as a lifeguard would help event and plan, and you've had the experience here in multiple jobs that you held. Is there anything else that you would like to add concerning qualifications that we didn't cover?
Yeah, I would say that also, this isn't really with camp, but, well, also with camp, I was camper for 8 years when I was younger, so I really do enjoy that whole atmosphere, and I would love to get back into that sort of situation. And then also my experience studying abroad, it really opened my eyes up to different people, to be able to accept them for their differences. Also, it helped me learn to think on my toes a lot better than before, because when traveling, something always inevitably goes wrong. And so when I was faced with those situations, I had to think on my toes and come up with quick solutions. And I think that just really improved my decision-making skills.
Mm-hmm. And then, are you good with kids? Like, how do you relate to them, or like, do you have any background with children?
Yeah, I love working with kids. I was working with a lifeguard. I was working as a lifeguard. We typically, the parents would just kind of leave their kids there. It was a pretty small pool, and so we almost acted like a babysitter too. And so I really enjoyed connecting with them, engaging in their games. I would play, football with them when I was off duty, or just things like that, rather than just talking to them. Like, working with them is something that I really enjoy doing.
So we are conducting multiple interviews right now, and we'll be in touch with you in the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Do you have any questions?
No, I think we covered it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Erin, I would like to